Welcome to the American Dream. I'm your host, Joe Hafner. Today, we're about 30 miles southeast of Nashville in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at the Five Senses restaurant. Today, we're going to follow the unique culinary journey of Mitchell Murphree. He turned the Murfreesboro restaurant scene on its head when he opened his first restaurant, Five Senses, back in 2004. Mitchell's story began in Paris. No, not that Paris. I'm talking about Paris, Tennessee, where he grew up. He was trained by the CIA. No, not that CIA. The Culinary Institute of America in New York City. And then Mitchell found his way to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Mitchell Murphree, thanks so much for joining me. How did you end up in Murfreesboro, of all places?
Wound up in Murfreesboro, it's kind of a funny story. I was working at a restaurant, a very acclaimed restaurant in Birmingham, Alabama. I had an old college friend who said, there's a lady that was looking for a chef. He was looking for an executive chef for a restaurant, B. McNeil's, and I was in Birmingham, and I was young and naive and thought I knew everything about restaurants, and so I kind of took a leap and moved up to Murfreesboro, and that got my career going and give it a chance to run a kitchen on my own and make a lot of mistakes, make some good things, but really learn about what I was doing and how to work in kitchens, run kitchens, and do things with making my own decisions.
When you came to Murfreesboro and you opened Five Senses, it was different than anything else. How was it different?
We really knew about kind of eating with the seasons, when the peas were in the summer, when the tomatoes were around in the summer, and what you had in the wintertime was different than maybe what you ate in the summertime. So we kind of wanted to do that. We made some really quick connections with some local farmers here in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County around. And so we said, let's come out here and let's do a kitchen that everybody can see what we do. Let's put our produce out here and be proud of it. Let's change the menus. Let's do something different that's not in Murfreesboro. We wanted to show people what we're doing. They could see it. They could interact with the chefs and the cooks. And it's really made it a very inviting family atmosphere where the guests want to get to know the employees and vice versa.
Where did the Five Senses name come from?
That was my sister, Molly. That was her idea. Culinary arts, cooking, is the only art that requires the use of all five senses. And we've stuck with that with our future endeavors and just kind of kept going with that. We have our lunch here very quick, very healthy, very fresh, very eye appealing. That's what we do.
So all that hard work, and this is the payoff right here, right?
Yeah.
Let me taste this. This looks delicious.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. There's a nice crunch on that swordfish. Very good.
That's the plan.
And then one of these purple tomatoes. Wow, that just melted in my mouth. This is just fantastic. So that was delicious. Thank you for making that.
Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it.
So now that you own 3 restaurants, how often do you actually get to cook anymore?
Well, I think that's kind of the transition that I'm in the middle of learning about. Instead of, really working in the kitchens, menus, and the day-to-day of restaurants, I'm doing more business things.
Yeah.
A little bit about marketing, how to make all 3 places work together.
Now, let's take a second and talk about each of your restaurants where you can kind of explain the thought process and the vibe behind them. So Five Senses, tell me in a paragraph what the vibe is here.
Cool, fun. Still think it's kind of hip because it is still probably the only seasonal rotating menu in Murfreesboro. So there's always something new, always something fresh. And I think that's what keeps Five Senses going for 20 years.
Okay. And Steakhouse 5, how would you describe the vibe over there?
I would call it a traditional or a classic American steakhouse. We have some awesome cuts of beef. All of our beef are prime grade.
Okay.
We have different cuts that maybe the people aren't familiar with. I think it's upscale.
Yes.
I think it's a great way to say it.
And 5 on Black. Now, 5 on Black, interestingly, is located where you started in Murfreesboro, what used to be B. McNeil's.
Yeah. I have a partner, Raul Espinoza, and he's from Los Angeles. And his concept was 5 on black, like you're throwing 5 on the roulette wheel and 5 on black. And it's a fun, upscale cocktail bar, great smash burgers, totally different vibe than 5 Cents at a Steakhouse 5.
Yep. Paris to the CIA to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Mitchell Murphree has had quite the culinary journey. And in the process, he pioneered a transformation of the Murfreesboro food scene. I can't wait to see what he does next. For The American Dream, I'm Joe Hafner. Join me next time when we will share another real story from small town Tennessee.